Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a live stream. Sorry, the intro didn't start. I've got a bit of a connection issue tonight, so hello everybody. That was a little bit quicker. Hello, Colin. Nice to see you here. Disney and Doctor Who is not what a combination I usually want to hear. Well, hopefully, I'm going to sort of try and address some of this. And hello, John. Right then. So it's took us exactly 6 days to go from really excited to really worried and depressed and negative and upset and down and all had enough, and it's all terrible because of a single news article by the Telegraph, which I'm going to bring up in a minute. There you go. And hi, Lord Foe, how you doing, mate? You all right? Nice to see you joining us here on the old Streamy Boo. Right then, so let's bring up the thing in everything. Oh, hello. Hi, Noel. How you doing, mate? You're all right. Right then, this is actually off Noel's Twitter thing. This is the infamous bit. This is the infamous bit. This is the thing that is causing all the problems and all the worries and all the negativity and everybody getting fed up and oh no, it's all going to be shit and all this sort of stuff. Right then. Hi, XSM. Nice to see you. How you doing? And John's just saying hello to everybody else. Right then, so we have this infamous piece of writing. Now, Charlotte Moore, which is the BBC's chief content officer, told the Telegraph, "We are thrilled to announce this exciting global partnership with Disney, who are perfect partners to bring the very British show to the rest of the world." Okay. That's the bit she said. This bit, which is the bit that's causing all the worry, was written by the newspaper. Wasn't said by Charlotte Moore, wasn't said by anybody else. This bit here says, but the newspaper further added. They said it's a great partnership with Disney for the global partnership deal to send it all over the world. Okay? It was that simple. Disney will probably have put some money in it. Of course they would, because they had to buy the rights for this to occur. They weren't just given the option, they weren't just say, yeah, Disney have it for free. Disney will have paid and paid handsomely for the rights to distribute it all over the world. Now, let's get what Colin says. To be fair, as long as Disney is only involved in the role of the broadcaster and don't have any further effect or influence, I have no problem with the news. Well, this is the thing. It's because this bit here was, it does include both funding for the show. As I said, it will be not necessarily funding for the show, but they would have had to have bought the rights for them to distribute it. So that money would go to the show. And in reality, if they want to use that money they got for giving those the rights, then that's fine by me. I have no issue with that. And while returning showrunner Russell T Davies will retain overall creative vision for Doctor Who, Disney will have some level of say in the creative decision for the series. No. That's what the paper said. That's what the newspaper said. Not what anyone else said. Not Disney, not anyone else. The newspaper. Will Disney have some level of say in the creative decision for the series? No. I don't think it will. The funding, obviously, as I've just explained, is because they got to pay. You don't just get given the rights to distribute a TV show all over the world. You have to pay for it. And Disney, let's be honest, Disney Plus is screaming out for things that are fairly decent because their actual shows themselves aren't doing exactly brilliantly. Now, Disney have some level of the creative decision. Well, no, because if that was going to happen, why did they give it to the BBC? Why did the BBC get rid of it to Bad Wolf? Why are Bad Wolf, who've now been bought by Sony? Sony will have more influence on what's done because Sony's the one who's forked out the money. Now, if Disney did get involved, and this is a big if Disney did get involved, why are we automatically presuming it's going to be a disaster? Now, don't get me wrong. You know how I feel about Disney and what they've done to Star Wars. Although in reality, Star Wars, The Mandalorian was okay. So ignore that blung. That was me telling me I'm already live. Any case. In fact, given how Disney Plus the shows have flopped, one wonders if they think new Doctor Who will be sufficiently different to change that around. I think there's a lot of that involved in Disney's view, in Disney's viewpoint, because Disney Plus is struggling. I think Disney might have some veto powers to protect Disney brand, e.g., no drug use in the show, potentially, but I don't know. Yeah, and I actually agree, Noel. They do have a track record of not respecting IPs, but I don't think they've got as much control as everybody seems to be reading into this. Remember that this is one single newspaper that said this. Was the Telegraph. The Telegraph said on the thing they added that there's this. You've heard no official word from Disney or anyone to do with BBC or Bad Wolf. Just that. Just saying, oh, and the newspaper says there's a deal. Well, the funding, as I've said, the funding's covered because you don't get nothing for free in this world nowadays. They'll have had to pay for the rights. Whether that money goes back into the show or just goes into Bad Wolf's coffers, who knows? But we've literally gone from 6 days of being exceedingly, I mean, it was literally a couple hours from now, it was been 6 days exactly where we were all over the moon. The Doctor Who was going to have a bright new future. Everything was going to be great. And then one article comes out from Disney. Just one article. Well, not even from Disney, from newspaper quoting people talking about it, but not Disney saying we've bought the rights. It doesn't say they've bought the rights to Doctor Who. They bought the rights to distribute Doctor Who. Do you have to pay for BBC abroad? Disney Plus might be cheaper, therefore it would attract subs if Who is an exclusive platform. I'm not 100% certain. I'm sure somebody, if not now or later on YouTube, will be able to verify that. But that's a possibility. Remembering that Disney Plus has a lot of reach in other countries where not necessarily it's easy to get the BBC. So, I mean, personally, on a business sense, from a business point of view, I can see why they're doing it. It makes sense because Disney Plus has got a huge reach all over the world. Plus, also, not everybody is tainted like we are with the Disney brand. A lot of people really respect and love the Disney brand. So, in a business sense, you've gone to potentially what I would say is the best distributor for Doctor Who. Remembering that Doctor Who's supposed to be a family show, and Disney's all about family shows. Well, no, that's what it's supposed to be about. We all know that Disney are not the greatest at the moment. It'd be good if we get some response to the BBC just to ease fans' minds. Yeah, it probably would be. But also remember that maybe asking Russell himself, Russell T. Davies, dropping him a message on Twitter or something, just to see if we can get some clarification. Because he knows, he said himself, he's fully aware of the rapid interaction that he will get now whenever he does something. So why don't we ask? Just saying, why doesn't a few of us just ping a message off to Russell T. Davies and ask him? There's no harm in asking. It's all about the business, though. They don't care about the show and its history. Unfortunately, when it comes to it, yeah, as brutal as that sounds, that is the truth. It is all about money. And I think the BBC has lost a lot of money with the failed experiments of the last 5 years, which is demonstrated quite easily by how quickly they've moved on as if it never happened. I mean, what was it? Literally the day after the new logo came out and this announcement was made. Excuse me, need a drink. So I think we need to calm down a little bit and let's just see what happens. It would be nice if that could be clarified. If that message could be clarified, what has Disney's input got? And I guess there's no harm in actually asking that question. We've all got Twitter and this, that, and the other. Why don't we just go on Instagram and find Russell and ask him? And if enough of us ask him, perhaps he'll answer. I mean, he might not give a monkeys, but who knows? But the thing is, as I said, when you read that thing, yes, it's saying that the global partnership with Disney to bring the show to the rest of the world. That doesn't say Disney have bought into Doctor Who. The newspaper decided to add that bit at the end. And we all know from bits of experience how good newspapers are at adding stuff that isn't always necessarily the truth. They may have overheard. The simple truth of the matter is, I don't think Disney are going to have this. Everything has to be passed by Disney. Disney, as John quite rightly said, Disney might specify certain things not be in the show, or be, when the filming's done, allow it that section to be cut out and removed, which would be good. This is it, absolutely, John. Until it comes out the horse's mouth, RCD, I will be cynical about this. This statement sounds like a PR blurb. It does. It completely sounds like that. It's very much a PR blurb. I think that perhaps the Telegraph wanted something a little bit more than what they got, which is just people saying that, well, they're distributing it and it's really good and we're all yay powerful and sorted. And they were expecting them to say, when we've bought, the rights to Doctor Who in the United States, but that didn't come out, so the paper just added it themselves. I mean, if you've watched the video, it is on YouTube, of the actual press launch of Doctor Who from Disney. It was even done in their own restaurant. Okay, it wasn't done in some special. It wasn't given a huge amount of fanfare, which you would imagine if Disney had actually bought some rights to Doctor Who, they would be bigging it up massively. Where they had it was in a restaurant, very, very poor sound quality, and a few people blithering on about things. I mean, the woman who was presenting it said that she remembers the one episode with Godzilla in it. They have no idea. They have no idea what Doctor Who is really. They have no idea. All they're doing is putting it on, and Disney could do with a decent series on it, to be fair, because it is struggling. But then again, let's be honest, most streaming services are struggling in one way or another. Lord Foe agrees with John. And I agree with John. I think a lot of people are reading a lot into this. But again, as I said in the previous stream I did, I get where these feelings come from. We've had such a dire, terrible experience with Doctor Who up until now that we're all jaded and tainted, and we seem to be looking for something to be miserable about instead of just taking it as it is at face value. There you go. So it gives you the Disney Plus numbers. If you want to click on that link, if you could just give us a rough idea, Noel, just a quick figure. But I know there's a lot of them all over the world, and it's the biggest one. If you put it, say, on Netflix, I don't think it would do as well. I don't think Netflix would touch it, and nor would Amazon, because of they've got things out there that are similar. So I don't think they wanted to touch it. So if you're not going to get Netflix and you're not going to get Amazon Prime, the next one most likely would be, and the most logical next one would be Disney Plus. I don't think Paramount would want to touch it because of their Star Trek stuff that they're currently obliterating. I mean, putting out there for us to see. So I don't think it would be them. So you've got to go for the best one you can get, and the best worldwide one other than the other two. There you go. 152 million subscribers. That's a big audience to play to, isn't it? You get a tenth of that, that would help. I mean, remembering that... Hi, Sadako, you all right, mate? That's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. So remembering that in the States, Doctor Who suffered massively, worse than it did here, actually. It almost went to almost flatline in the United States. So it could do with, in America, Disney's, even though we all know, we all have our opinions of Disney, but Disney is really high in American sort of psyche. So if we can get it on Disney and it can be pushed up via Disney, it's good for the show. I see it as as John said, it's a PR blurb. I see it as a logical business move for them to make. I don't think Disney are going to have a huge input. I do believe that they will maybe say, if you're going to have, they may have provisos in their thing saying we don't want this and we don't want that, and then they might be able to say, well, we're putting this in, but you can easily take that section out, and it wouldn't affect it, perhaps, which would then be Russell's overall creative control that he wants to put this in. You see, there you go, and that's the other reason. Disney Plus is available in more than 60 countries. So that's why they went to Disney. It might be a great renaissance for the show promotionally. Exactly. They could just think about, no idea how much Disney paid for the rights to have Doctor Who on there. But imagine if they could just take that money and just use that for promotional, nothing else. There you go. And 42 more to come in the summer. So what? That's 102 countries. That's a big reach. Big new relaunch of Faces, potentially. Hail the Time Prophet. Nice of you to join us. So you're looking at, let's be honest though, if we want to for Disney screwing this up, we would be ecstatic. Exactly, but I think, John, we're looking for the worry. I think we're all that about it at the moment that we're looking for the slightest thing. Well, it's the thing is, we don't know. It would be nice if that was cleared up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll make a difference, maybe it won't. But I think we need to stop trying to find something that's wrong. I mean, that's a very good point. The BBC have screwed it up. I mean, are Disney going to make? Well, yeah, it's Disney. It's Disney. It's always possible. We as a species always look for the bad side of everything. This is very true. But just for the moment, take yourself back to how you felt 6 days ago. After that regeneration, how did you feel 6 days ago? And you get one news article. We get one news article, and we're not, and we're putting it down already. We're finicky, aren't we, us fans? We really are. Well, yeah. Well, exactly, Noel. It is that article's fault because you can read into it what you want to read into it. I see it as Disney are going to be the worldwide distributors, and the newspaper just decided to throw an extra little bit on there just to make it sound better. Yeah, and I mean, their wording is terrible, including funding for the show. It's not. As I said, it's them buying the rights. Well, British look bad side, hope for the best. Doctor Who is better. Well, maybe. Who knows? Again, I'm going to sit on the fence. Well, I'm not even sit on the fence. I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe it could get better again. Let's be optimistic. Hello, 80s fanboy. Boy, Chibnall did a really good. This is it. That is absolutely spot on. That comment right there, I'm just going to leave up there for a minute. That's the problem. We've all been so battered and damaged, and the brand itself has been so hammered into the ground that this is how we feel as soon as something to go. It's gone. Remember, No Time to Die, it's supposed to be woke mess. Not true, despite all the speculation. Got to give Doctor Who a chance. Yes. Time to Die, I thought personally was a pretty, well, I quite enjoyed it as a Bond film, to be fair. It wasn't woke at all in any way, shape or form. And in fact, when you watch the film, it goes out of its way that, the two protagonists, Bond and whatever the other girl's name is, it's a conflict with them. So he's right. Doctor Who will get better once the BBC defunding and make programs we actually want to watch. Well, the thing is, technically, BBC are not actually going to be producing this series of Doctor Who coming. It's just not. Bad Wolf are doing that, and BBC are going to be buying it off there. If that makes sense. Hey, Long Comics, nice of you to join me, mate. I refuse to watch. Well, that's cool, mate. But to be honest, you missed quite a good film. It is actually quite a good Bond film. I'll give it that. My wife cried at Bond. Yeah, I can see it's sad. It is sad. It is sad. BBC will be in charge of what Bad Wolf does. The BBC will have some input because they're the customer. It's that simple. Yeah, they're the ones. Bad Wolf are making it for them. So yes, they will have some input because they're the customer. Just as you will want to have input in something that you were buying, like today, for instance, I had to go and buy a new 3-piece suite. Yeah, I have input on what I want from that 3-piece suite and what I'm expecting. So there's my input, and then you just have to hope that they do what you want them to do. Yeah. So, article causing a load of hassle, and in my own opinions, for no reason. We're worrying. We're battered. We're beaten. We're downtrodden. We've just had enough of everything to do with the way we've been treated for 5 years. But we were all excited a few days ago, weren't we? We were all really pumped up for this, and it's going to look good. Big Finish could be in trouble too. They are a small company. Disney wants to expand the brand. Well, I don't know. I mean, Big Finish has always managed to carry on doing what it's doing, I think. But I don't think Big Finish is going to struggle. I think Big Finish is doing pretty good. It's always done. I mean, let's be honest, in some way or form, it's Big Finish that's been keeping it going, to be fair. So I don't know whether Disney will have anything to do with that. Oh, excuse me. So I don't know. No Time to Die would have been great, but it came clear the writers hated Bond and the control plot and nonsense villain motivations really. Yeah, I get it. I wasn't excited to see the race change the Doctor Boy. Well, again, we're not sure, are we? Let's be honest. Race change, it's going to happen. It has to. It's going to always happen. You suppose you take your wins as they come. As for Yasmin Finney's character, again, we'll wait and see. We don't know how it's going to fit in. Again, that was somebody else who decided to run their mouths off and didn't help by, making it all about representation, etc. But, the Rabbit was talking about it earlier. Ironically, bringing them on board will actually give them more possibilities. There you go. See, I'm taking this as I'm quite glad that Disney are doing the worldwide stuff. I'm quite happy that Disney have given, well, obviously they would have given quite a lot of money. I don't think they got these rights cheap. So that's money in. So that'll be interesting to see. Look at me finish at the service as long as they turn out the product that will be safe, but they've got to get off the message to get and keep customers. Agreed. That's going to be their biggest. That's going to be Big Finish's biggest downfall. Maybe that will change. Who knows? Shooty will be great. Well, I've got no reason not to think he isn't. I'm not going to go, as I said before, the previous stream. I'm going on that 22-second clip of him. He's saying all the right things. He seems to be genuinely excited about being the Doctor. He's literally the polar opposite of how as Jodie was when she got the news. So it'd be interesting to see. Wasn't NTD subject new releases of the Black Sun leaks? If true, shows some corrections possible. Apparently, you're right, Colin. There was a fair few reshoots because it went toward the testing audience and it didn't fly. So they did change quite a lot. So everything is possible. Everything is possible. Well, I think sometimes you have to accept the fact there is going to be change. I, for one, am really not fussed about. I'm not really fussed about anyone's skin color. You know my mantra. I don't care about your skin color, your religion, your beliefs, anything like that. Your gender, whatever you want to be. As long as you're a nice person and you don't act like a twat, I have no issue with you. And the thing is, I think that people say that, but some people say, well, it's because he's not been in much. But if it had been, for instance, Idris Elba, that's all I'm going to say on that. And I find it more interesting than on Doctor. Exactly. I mean, they are branching out and they do some good stories. There is no way about that. I hear you like metal. When we're going to see your guitar on cam? I don't play guitar. I have very limited musical skills. There you go. Shooty's now a chance to be an international star. Absolutely. I mean, again, we have to think about if Doctor Who wants to recover itself in the world that we currently live in. Remember that's a very important thing. Then we have to just let it go. We don't know. We can't say he's going to be a bad Doctor. You can't say he's going to be a good Doctor. No one knows. For God's sake, man, it's anything till 2024. Should seems to be getting mouth in line, and that's a plus for me. Yeah, I think both him and Russell. I think they both got slapped wrists over what they said, and they've been saying all the right things since then. Give anyone a chance to play the Doctor if they're a good actor, then go for it. Colour and sexuality shouldn't matter to fans. It doesn't. It doesn't. Don't care about colour or watch actors. Don't agree with the race. Why would you want to watch White Blade or White Spawn and sound? But no one's even bothered to try that, have they? That's, you know, perhaps somebody should do that and see what happens. It'd be interesting to see. You're entitled to opinion, but nobody agrees with you. So also remember that. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, we are a great community, and we're not all going to agree. We're never all going to agree on everything because that's just physically impossible. We're humans. We're human beings. It's impossible for us to agree on everything because we never will, because we never do. The thing is to, see how things go. Shooty will be fine there, say that even Jodie would be tolerable in RTD's writing. Distinctly possible. Unfortunately, we will never get to see that, will we? Sadly, but I mean, she may have been. A good writer can always drag out some amazing abilities in actors that you didn't know. We also don't know what world and culture we like at the time they start filming and writing. Anyway, exactly. Things may change. We live in a extremely fluid time at the moment. Let's be brutally honest. Language and stuff changes in instants. Yesterday, a word, today a word is not right to say, but yesterday a word was perfectly okay. We live in a very fluid world at the moment. Sorry, I've got to have a coffee. We'd like to see Capaldi under RTD. Oh, God, wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all? Agreed source for the goose. Yeah, exactly. Life would be dull and robotic if we all agreed on everything. Exactly. I mean, if we all agreed on anything, Noel's channel probably wouldn't exist. This channel wouldn't exist. In fact, there wouldn't be that many channels at all. There probably would be two, or maybe six, one for each thing that's on, because everybody would go, oh, that's great. No need for me to say anything against it. But you're very disappointed that the British way to be excited about anything. Yeah, I disagree with that massively. I get excited about a lot of things, but I don't think we will. But then again, you may be right. You may be wrong. Who knows? Because we don't know. I haven't seen anything yet. I have no idea. So let's not judge. Let's wait and see. Let's just wait and see. Just wait and see. So bring this one to a close because this is almost coming to half an hour. So except beating the French. Well, yeah, very good at that. Very good at that. I'm not British. I'm very excitable. Well, fair enough, John. But the thing is, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm going to take the hopeful attitude that this is going to be a good thing. It doesn't help when articles come out like this, and we're in that silly season, are we not? Where we're going to get lots of this from now until the 60th, and from the 60th to Shooty's first season, we're going to get stuff like this. We're going to get rumour, counter rumour. Everything will have to be taken with huge buckets of salt. It's going to be rumour season, and it's going to be a long rumour season. And I think we have to take our time when we see something, especially like this news article. We need to stop and think and think, well, do we really need to worry about this, or are we just reading too much into it? I think we're reading too much into it. But that again, that's my humble opinion. You don't have to agree with my opinion. I'm just saying how I see it. I know other people will read it and see it another way. I know some people are completely dead against this from the beginning. I know, and that's what makes us a wonderful the human race so interesting. I see this as the BBC's chief content officer said, we got a great distributor. As Noel's put up there, potentially by the summer, 104 countries and over 152 million subscribers worldwide, doing a deal with Disney to do the worldwide promotion of this is a great thing. It's a brilliant thing, because that's something then that we haven't got to worry about. Bad Wolf haven't got to worry about the advertising out there. Disney's got it in hand. Disney will have bought the rights, hence the funding for the show, and that wouldn't be cheap. But that's going to be used to potentially be able to do promotional work here. Maybe make things better. Maybe allow them to go other places. Who knows? But just because somebody buys the rights to show it worldwide doesn't mean, like the paper seems. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. Like the paper seems to think it is, gives them that's it. It's Disney's. It's not, because the very simple way to know that Disney hadn't bought Doctor Who is if they had, they wouldn't have held the press conference in their canteen, because that's where it was. It was in one of their canteens. So do you honestly believe that if Disney had bought Doctor Who, we'd have had 2 hastily put up TV screens in a canteen with a poor sound system? I'll support her today, and I said, well, why not? We got nothing to lose and potentially everything to gain. What's nothing wrong with it? Yeah, it's going to be fun to discuss. Absolutely. And that's what it should be. Distribution is a key thing. Titanic would have been a flop under a rubbish distribution. Important, right? Exactly. In fact, distribution, if you remember, if you know anything about your movies, that at least whatever their budget was for making the film, you got to double that for advertising and distribution. Merchandise. Wallet is going to burn. Absolutely. It is RTD's to kill, as far as I see. Exactly. It's in his hands now. The ball is firmly in Russell's court. It's his game to lose. I think people need to sort of calm down. We were all excited, and then this stupid little article comes out with the newspaper adding its little bit, and it's all going to be shit again. We don't know. Voice of reason. Yeah, just think. Just look at things logically. Just think through. Disney wouldn't have announced their buying of Doctor Who in their canteen with 2 TV screens. It is that simple. The BBC has sold it to and allowed Bad Wolf to do the program with Russell in charge. But remember that the BBC is the customer. So the BBC will have some input in what Doctor Who is. It's their product. They're buying it. As you say, for instance, this cup. If you wanted to buy this cup, you'd want to make sure there's a handle on it because you're the customer. So it's unknown, and 60 still to come to. Exactly. There's a lot of. I get it though. The thing is, I do understand. I do understand where all the concerns are from. I've had them. You can see them. Go back on my videos. You can see my concerns. They're there. As I always put it up on there. You can see back there that I'm worried. I'm concerned. I have issues. But the thing is, people are saying the right things. We had our little outburst. We've had our wrists slapped, and now we're on board. Both Russell and Shootier are saying good things. To be fair, he looks genuinely excited to be the Doctor. which is refreshing in itself, is it not? Even though people will look at little things and start nitpicking, oh, he said then they, and he's this, and you know, and it doesn't matter. The guy's excited. He also clearly has an understanding of the ethos of the Doctor. He knows more than Jodie ever admitted. He knows what an important role, how it is in his own words. It's the fabric, the roots deep, buried deep in British tradition. He knows what he's taking on board. To him, it's not another acting role. You know, you've got to give the guy a chance. How many of you? I mean, we all gave Jodie a chance. Sadly, it was never to be. So, well, okay. Yes, he is, but he always has been. But he's also been very, very good at doing it subtly. Unlike a Chibnall lump hammer to the forehead, his has always been subtle. If you've watched, if you watched It's a Sin, absolutely brilliant. Very political, but it was done very, very well. And we all have to remember that, you know, that Doctor Who is a political show. If you go back through the history, if you go all the way back through history, Doctor Who has tackled political things, but it's subtlety. The problem we had in the last 5 years was it wasn't subtle. It literally was a 50 caliber bullet through the forehead. And that's the difference. Hiya, Jack. We appreciate British culture is against it because of the stuff you said, because we read back. Again, I understand. I do genuinely get where people are feeling. I do get it. I do understand. It's an iconic one remembered for, despite other successes. Shooter will grab the chance and smash it. Yeah, he seems to be fully aware of what this role is. Well, you missed a good show. And it was, and I'm not gay, and I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was really, really good. Well, yeah, I agree. Most of them. RCD was an extremist until Chibnall said, "Hold my beer." Well, you can't argue with that statement, can you? No, I think look, I get where people are coming from. I have the same concerns and issues, and you know, there's things that, but I just for once, after 5 years of just living in Doctor Who hell, I just want to get excited again. I just want to say it would be nice to be able to just go, yeah, hey guys, you know that episode watched last night? Whew, boy, was that good. That was good. What was wrong with it? I just really enjoyed it. And wouldn't it be nice to be able to just sit and do that? Yep, the BBC are in a terrible, and there's no denying the BBC is struggling. Dracula was crap, but it was on the BBC, so, which is why I think that it's gone to Bad Wolf, because I think BBC is struggling. It really is. It's something you shouldn't have to win until it happens. Nothing you can do about it. Ride the wave. Amen. It is what it is. It is what it is. This article didn't help. This, you know, people are the thing is, you could read this 10 times over, and it depends on the frame of mind that you are in, how that reads, how that article reads. It's Disney has taken over to, it's just PR. Just PR. Okay, it's going to give us, yeah, we'll just not mention that because I mean, BBC's War of the Worlds basically made Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds look really, really good. Maybe something British have rain, that's why we're realists. Yeah, well, you know, sometimes it's nice to be excited about something. I'm going to be here, and I'm sure like other people are going to be here. So true. In fact, I think it was raining a minute ago, just for a change. Yeah, it was. There is no need. Why do people find the need to find negative to people when they're excited about Doctor Who when we get it and we get the same concerns but wait and see? Yeah, exactly. That's how it should look. I get it. Thing is, I get it. I get a lot of people are really down. No, you won't. There isn't. Oh, hello, Bad Wolf. Been long 5 years and we aren't going to give up now. Exactly. Let's just be. Let's just wait and see. Just wait and see. Yeah, War of the Worlds by Jeff. It was awesome. There's nothing else you can say about that. Absolutely nothing else. It certainly is. And hello, Bad Wolf. I'm excited to see if they bring anything in for children who need. Now, Doctor Who has got a history, has it not, of doing skits for children in need. Will there be one? Will there be one? I mean, what they did in the 60s, not the 60s, the Power of the Doctor. Sorry, so much stuff going in my head. They could bring back past Doctors. We could have a interesting chat on the cliff edge, couldn't we? Let the babes cry about the cast on Twitter and they'll enjoy some nostalgia in 20. Exactly. I mean, it's like, the people go, oh, no, we don't want David Tennant again. Why not? It worked straight away in my house. As soon as it was David Tennant, the wife went, oh, if he's back, I'm watching. There you go. My wife hates sci-fi. Loved Doctor Who with David Tennant. You know, it's that simple. It's that simple. Mate, you don't know the future yet to come on and fair. Wait and see what you don't know. Exactly. Exactly. There you go. Look, straight away, wouldn't it, mate? Straight away. Oh, it's David Tennant again. I'm going to watch them. And I even went, well, you know, there's a trans lady playing this. I don't care. It's David Tennant. All they care about. That's all they care about. David Tennant. They're happy. But again, look at the excitement. Look at the excitement that created. David Tennant's a woman's man and he's got no... Exactly. Simple truth of the matter is, as soon as... Well, I mean, okay. For those of us who actually enjoy the show and pay attention to the show, we knew he was coming back. To those people who live on Twitter to cause aggro and aggression, and problems, who were surprised it was David Tennant, which explains so much about them and nothing. Yeah. Look at the excitement it generated instantly. It completely Jodie gone. She only still got one to go, and no one was talking about Jodie, and everybody was talking about David Tennant coming back. That's what Doctor Who should do. That's the level of excitement. That's the level of interest that it should create. And that is why it's been done in the 60s. I know some people are worried. Oh, God, it's going to be. Yep. I know some people are worried it's going to be bait and switch. We don't know. We just don't know. But honestly, Jodie went, everybody was excited. The next day, the new logo come out. 90% of people excited. I know some people don't like the new logo. That's fine. I don't care. I like it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's just a logo. I think it looks cool. And I think it's been specifically picked and done for a reason to try and hark back to the old times when Doctor Who was great. That's what that logo's all about. You don't like it, you don't like it. I don't. Yes. And that's the point. That's why it was done. As simple as that. It was done because it is the old logo. Just how little I was paying attention. I hadn't expected her to regenerate into Tennant. Not everybody has to pay as much attention as we do. I don't know if I like it yet, but I like the change. Yes, it's going to be like that. It's a bit like yeah, exactly. The thing is, it's a classic logo. It was a classic logo, and that was the point. Yes, it looks like Pertwee's one. Yes, it looks like Tom's one. Look, this one looks like the one you used to know. Please come back. That's what it was done for, pure and simple. There's nothing overriding about that. Jo Martin was kind of robbed to think she had a much stronger screen presence. Well, yeah, but that sort of summed up Jodie's thing altogether, isn't it? That every time somebody who was even got a modicum of acting ability outshone her, which said a lot. Yeah, exactly, Lord Folk. That's exactly what it is. It's great PR. It's very, very clever because it is literally saying, all you fans who are classic fans, look, do you remember this? Look, it's all shiny now. Look at it. You go, oh, old logo. And let's be honest, most of us got excited. Logo's because the 60 is a diamond. But exactly, I don't care. I like the logo. As soon as that logo come up, I was like, hello, old friend. That's exactly how I felt. Hello, old friend. And I must admit, you're looking good for your age. They'd give you a good makeover. I like the logo. I know people don't. It's on my iPad. It's on my iPad's lock screen right now because I like it. I just like it. And I think it's going to be the logo forever. And the reason I think it's going to be the logo forever is it's because it was the logo that was shown on the screens behind the Disney execs in their cafeteria when they were having a little pretend that they knew what Doctor Who was and brought Ncuti in. So that logo is going to be there, and it's specifically designed. Everything that's happened up until now in relation to the 60th and RTD one has been a masterpiece in PR. It absolutely has. As I said, oi, oi, look who's here. How you doing, Lee? You all right, mate? It has. I mean, it's announced he's coming back. Everybody gets excited. Then he runs his mouth off and everybody gets a bit, ooh, hold on a minute. But then David's coming back and Catherine Tate's coming back and the 60 is going to have the mean. And these announcements come out quite cleverly staged, dropped in place. Jodie disappeared off the face of the planet. The BBC couldn't even do anything to counter the excitement that Tennant coming back created. And on the Sunday when we did after the show, when we talked about it in that terrible episode, well, except for the few good bits, I actually said that come Monday, new things would come out, merchandise would coming out, and on Monday the new logo appeared. And then we had the announcement of the deal with Disney Plus, and then the article that we're all discussing comes out and causes everybody to have a fucking meltdown. You know, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's one of those things. We will just have to wait and see. That it's literally that much. We're gonna have to wait and see. Yes, we're going to talk about stuff like we are now, like I have now about this news article, and I'm sure there are going to be more interesting things that have come out or will come out from now to the 60th, from the 60th to Ncuti's first season of whatever it's going to be. And we'll be here and we'll discuss them and we will talk about them and we will mention them because that's what we do. We like the show. We're going to talk about the show. If the show's not on, we'll talk about stuff that's in relation to the show. That's what we do here. And I just try to be a bit. I'm excited. I'll be honest. Why not? The world. Open your window, have a look at how shit the world is right at this moment in time. Can't we have something to look forward to? Anything to look, just give us something, because real world outside there is crap. So why not have something to look forward to, something to see how things go? And it's going to be interesting from now to the 60th, which remember isn't until next year. So we've got a long time to go before that one. And then we've got potentially another year to go until we get Ncuti's first season. So there's plenty of time in between for us to all have our ups and downs, our worries, etc., etc. But the simple truth of the matter is, Disney are doing no more than being the worldwide distributors of it. By the time it comes out, it'll be 104 countries and over 152 million subscribers. It's a household name in the United States of America. It is all good in that respect. The rest of it about the funding, I've covered that because they wouldn't have got it for free. They would have had to pay for the rights. And as for Disney having some level of creative decisions in the series, no, they won't. I think what will happen is they will have certain things that they don't like showing on Disney. And what they might say is, if you're going to put that scene in, can you make it in such a way that we can take that scene out and it'll make no effect to the show? Because Disney do that any case on a lot of things, you know, when films go abroad and they don't like black people being in it. So they, yeah, you know, and scenes get cut. I think that might happen. Hopefully, Doctor Who will arrive the shops again. Let's this again. Why not? What? Yeah, it'd be nice to get some merchandising for a change, because everybody almost stopped stocking it because it just isn't selling. So it would be nice to be able to go in shops and see Doctor Who somewhere everywhere. That would be awesome. Yeah, they did only get that for the last episode. That was a generation, but that's because a vast lot of people just lost interest. But that was just showing you, and let's be honest, they only got that much because of the sudden surge near the end, where people rushed in to see the regeneration. I think it would be an ideal order would be Tennant specials, and with the 60th is Ncuti at a Christmas special. They are talking about it coming in his episode. They said it was in a festive period. Hopefully, it would be so great if it's back on Christmas Day. That would be so good. So good. Countries that don't buy Doctor Who will still have Disney Plus. Exactly. It's the opening of the opportunity all over the world. The merch declined at the start of Moffat, so it's not ultimate. No. That's I absolutely agree. It wasn't doing very well in Moffat's era, but it nosedived into obscurity when Jodie took over. Yeah, they did, but it has happened before. I'm sure somebody will be able to push it out, but it's happened once before in Doctor Who. I'm sure it has, when the clothes have changed, which is, it's fine by me. I have no issue with that. Yeah, there might be a weird problem with the black protagonist, though. The Chinese market might not be very big. It won't be. But then again, in China, Doctor Who isn't allowed to be shown because you're not allowed to show anything on TV that promotes time travel. It's actually, any shows are banned in China if it has any relation to time travel. So it wasn't going to go there any case. Doctor Who's never been shown in China. It's not allowed. It's forbidden. It's one of those forbidden things that they're not allowed to show. So I don't think people are going to be too worried about that in China, because even if it was a white guy, they don't allow time travel stories. Doctor Who in China. That used to be true. I think they'll relax it now. I don't think that. I don't. We'll have to find. Oh, there's something. I'll have a look. Yeah, exactly. China won't show any time travel shows. I think we've got a thing there. Maybe, in fact, when I finish this, I might even go back and see if it has. But the last time I heard it, that they have always banned time travel stories. I don't know why. I really don't know. I was thinking Ncuti's actual first season, following on what even starting with the 60th, including Christmas special next year. What they've mentioned is that Ncuti will appear at the end of the 60th in a festive show. So I would say you're going to get your 3 episodes with David in, and then in a festive show, Ncuti arrives, and then we have to wait till next year. Oh, no, not Wuhan. Bad place, Wuhan. Things escape there. They voted real time travel. No, that would be worrying, wouldn't it? So there you go. Right. I'm going to bring this one to a close, ladies and gentlemen, because I've been going for nearly an hour, and I wasn't intending to go that long. But I've had such a wonderful time talking to you, wonderful mother truckers in the chat. It's always been a pleasure. So there we go. That's my thoughts on the news article. That's my thoughts on where Doctor Who's going, even though I've already done this once before. But let's do it again. I don't mind. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. I'm looking forward to it. Not sure. Not sure at all. And no, at the moment in my shed, it's 18.7 degrees. I love this global warming. It makes it easier for me in October not to freeze my ass off in my shed. Have a great evening, folks. And with that, I shall join in Colin's message. Thank you so much for all of you who've watched. Thank you for all of you who have quickly. October, I reckon. Again, like everything else, we don't know. Thank you, mate. Good night. It's a lovely stream. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Night, everybody. And if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That would be very much appreciated by me, as always. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love you and leave you. See you in the next one, whenever that is.